Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about how to easily add the simple condition using the if statement or the if structure. So let's get started. Till now, we talked about many great tips and tricks and methods and topics of the Python. But suppose we want to add some condition to the Python codes. Then the best option is the if statement. So we can use the if statement to add the condition to the Python codes. Indeed, I can't imagine creating the application using the Python without the if structure. So the if structure or the if statement is one of the most important and indeed the master key of the Python programming. So let's get started. You know what? The structure of the if statement is really simple and straightforward. So I divided the if statement into 3 different topics. Then I'll talk about the if statement with the different and practical examples. The first one is the simple if statement. You can see it over here. Then in my upcoming tutorial, I'll talk about the advanced if structure with the else statement. And we have the else over here. And finally, I'll talk about the elif or else if to add the multiple if statement in the Python code. So let's get started working with the simple if structure or the simple if statement. Before doing anything, let's come over here and add the new and the directory or the folder to my project and name it a statement, for instance. So right click over here, add new and the Python file. Now let's write the if or the if condition. So everything is ready for me. For better understanding, let's take a quick look at the structure of the if. Suppose I have the number and it is, for instance, -1 or 0 or any other numbers, and I want to recognize if the number is negative or not. Currently we can't do it. So if you want to add some condition to your code, then we can easily use the if structure. Currently I have the variable and its value is -1. So I want to check if this variable is negative or not. So I have the if structure. You can see the if statement over here. It is up to here. And after that, we need to add a space and my condition. So you can see the condition over here. And inside the condition, I need to use the comparison operators. I'll talk about these operators one by one. So don't worry about anything and just focus on your learning. After the condition, I have the colon. And after that, this is a really important one. At least we need to add one space or more. And we can call it indentation. So after adding one space at least or more, we can write the codes to be run if this condition is true. For instance, I can say print negative number, and after that the next line up to the end. And don't forget to add the spaces at the beginning of each line. So we can add some comments here and also add some codes. You know what? These codes inside the if structure will be executed if this condition is true. For instance, if the x is smaller than 0, then print this number is negative or the negative number. Or even I can say equals like this, not equal, greater than, smaller than, greater than, and equals, and also the smaller than and equals. Let's create something like this in the Python for deeper understanding. So come over here and come to this one. So currently I have the x, for instance, and its value is -1. Then I want to check if the x is negative or not. So add the if, then space, and my condition. X is smaller than 0 or less than 0. Then don't forget to add the colon and press enter. By default, the PyCharm will add up to here the multiple spaces. But at least we need to add one space or more. So this is one space. So I can add up to here or here, no matter. And it is completely based on your needs. So this is the if x is smaller than the 0, then print this message. And this is my print negative number. And if I come over here and stop this, right click over here and run. Now the negative number. It means the x is smaller than the 0 or less than the 0. And if I come over here and after that write another line of the code, for instance, print and second line, for instance, is not important matter. So if I run, negative number in the second line. So if I come and change the value of my variable and set it to, for instance, 1, then run the program again, nothing over here. It means my condition is not true. So the Python will jump to the end over here exactly without running and executing these codes. So I can come over here, and if I wanna start another line of the code outside of the if structure, don't forget to come to the beginning of the line and say, for instance, print and say nice day. So this is nice day. We want this line of code doesn't belong to the if structure. So if I come over here and press enter and delete this part and add some comments like this. I added this comment for better aligning of my code and your better understanding. So these codes belong to the if, and I have another print. And if I come over here, currently I have the x equals to 1. And if I run, wow, the nice day. So the nice day will be executed every time because it is not inside the if structure. But if we want to execute these lines, we need this condition to be true. So if I come over here and change it, for instance, -9, then run. So these codes are running, and we have the negative number for this one, and the second line, this, and finally the nice day. So this is the nice day, and the nice day will be printed every time I run this application. But this needs this condition to be true. And after that, don't forget, I use up to, for instance, 1, 2, and 3 spaces at the beginning of my if structure code, and 1, 2, and 3 for the second line. And if I come to this one, for instance, and let's delete this space and this one. So I got this error, you can see it over here. And if I run, and I got this error, indentation error, expected and indented block. Indented means add at least one space or more. So up to here and this up to here. And currently I use the same number of spaces for the first line and the second line inside the if structure, so I can run it without any problem. But suppose I want to change the spaces for the first line and the second line. So if I run, I got this error, the same error, and unexpected indent. It means we need to use the same number of spaces for the different lines of the codes inside the if structure. So currently I use 1, 2, 3 spaces, but in the second line 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can easily add one space here, or I can delete the space from the second line, and this is no matter and no problem. At least one space I need over here for my codes inside the if structure. So if I run, without any problem, I have all of this. And also if I come over here and come to the 0, for instance, and run. So the 0 is not smaller than the 0. As the result, these codes will be ignored by the Python, and I have only this line of the code. And this line of the code will be executed every time that I run the application because it is outside of the if structure. And how the Python can identify the codes that is inside the if or outside, easily using the indentation or these spaces. Don't forget to consider this matter. So what about the next topic? The next topic is about using the comparison operators. I'll talk about this one in my upcoming tutorial because it is time consuming. So it's certainly going to start working with the simple if structure. And as I told you, currently don't worry about all of this and just focus on the structure and the concepts of the if, and try creating something like this. Or you can change this message or this one, or add some lines or delete these lines, no matter. But at this, we need to add one line after the if structure. And after learning this simple if structure, I'm waiting for you in the next amazing and upcoming tutorial. Stay with me. Thanks for your time.